like coming out didn't solve the problems that I thought it would, which sounds really vague, but I think from it I learned that like you're more than just your sexual orientation, and like there are no simple, I don't know, people are so like multi-dimensional, I guess.
Simon Bolivar trying to escape the world or the end of it? My favorite book is Looking for Alaska. It discusses life, love, death, grieving, guilt, friendship. But all the characters discuss what the labyrinth is and how do you escape. Alaska, one of the main characters, came to the conclusion that it's not about life or death. It's about suffering. In her opinion, Bolivar was talking about the pain, not the living or dying. Her question became, how do I escape this labyrinth of suffering? And in the end, she killed herself. You weren't just my uncle, you were my best friend. My everything. I'll never understand why you would hurt yourself like that. I always thought you were happy. How was I so blind? I have a fear of forgetting, so much that I keep a wall of memories, everything marked with a date and story. I create films to never forget. I promised myself to never forget. Why can't I remember your voice? After losing both parents and now her brother 3 years in a row, I could tell my mom was lost.
You're recording nothing over this. Stop it.
She she was grief-stricken and heartbroken. She was never afraid to show her pain, and she was never afraid to cry. But she never let grief take over her life. Mom, if you're listening to this, every day that I wake up and I remember how lucky I am to be here because of you, I write a poem called Strength. If strength was measured in tears, you are the strongest person I know. If strength was measured in pain and heartbreak, you are the strongest person I know. If strength was measured in losing so much, you are the strongest person I know. If strength was measured in giving up your future for your family, you are the strongest person I know. If strength was measured in being a person with so much love, you are the strongest person I know. Death and loss will never break you, because strength is measured in true emotion and not being afraid to hurt. And because of you, death and loss will never break me.
Then you'll see me. Then you can watch me draw.
If I were to make a list of all the people I've hurt in my life, my name would be at the top. Miles, the other main character from Looking for Alaska, when thinking about the labyrinth and Alaska's death, he says, "That which came together will fall apart imperceptibly slowly, and I will forget, but she will forgive my forgetting, just as I forgive her for forgetting me and everyone but herself and her mom in those last moments she spent as a person." The only way out of the labyrinth of suffering is to forgive. I forgive you, Uncle Eamon, and I'm sorry that you couldn't love yourself as much as the world loved you. I'm sorry you didn't think you were strong enough and you couldn't forgive yourself for it. Like you, I'm afraid of being vulnerable, afraid of being alone. But vulnerability isn't a weakness, it's a strength. Growth comes from vulnerability. And I forgive myself for all the times I told myself I wasn't strong enough, for letting my grief control me, and for not taking time to understand myself.
There's a fairy right there. Yes.
People are so multidimensional.
It's important to learn about yourself. I would say that. Just learning that, yeah, there's no simple, easy answer to like, who am I? Like that. That's probably the big one for me.
Dear Diary, my trauma does not define me. And I'm finally rewriting my narrative.